Well, hello there. It's been a really long time since I uploaded a video, and the main reason I would say is because we moved, and our room has been chaotic ever since, and try not to look beyond this room divider because it might stress you out. Okay, hey everybody! Welcome back to my channel. It has been 1,000 years since I last uploaded a video. That's not true, but it's been almost a year, I think. I don't know, I didn't do the math. But basically, the reason that it's been so long is because, one, we moved. So it's been hard to upload, I guess, just because life's been chaotic, honey. COVID-19 really wiped me out emotionally and mentally, and so I'm happy to say I'm back. I have lots of fun video ideas. Most of them are surrounding Taylor Swift, including this one. But does anyone expect anything different from me? Probably not. So let's get into it. So everybody knows that Taylor Swift dropped an album on us with no warning. We didn't have time to cry about it. We didn't have time to dissect Easter eggs. We didn't have time to listen to every single Taylor Swift song that's ever been released. No, we just got it released on us. And to be honest, it was amazing. The fact that I was able to just listen to everything all in a row the very first time without being like influenced by singles. I mean, obviously everyone knew that Cardigan was the first single because that was the video that was released at the same time as the album. But beyond that, it was amazing to be able to listen to the whole album with zero knowledge of what to even expect. Going into it, I knew it was going to be different. It was called Folklore. It had a totally different aesthetic, and she had worked with completely different people on this album, and so that meant that, you know, she's probably going to give a different sound. And I was excited. I didn't know what to expect at all. I thought it was going to be more acoustic sounding, but I definitely wasn't disappointed. So, that being said, Folklore is really different from all of the rest of her albums to an extent, and that's where this video comes in. So, if you are a new Taylor Swift fan and you listen to Folklore and you're like, hey, I've never really thought about her in this way before, but after listening to these new songs, I kind of dig her. I kind of like it. She's doing a good job. She really is as clever as everyone says. She really is as lyrically talented as the critics have been saying. And if you're finally in this camp, welcome. The Swifties are happy to have you. But I know that it's also pretty daunting to look at her entire discography and see that there are like hundreds, okay, not hundreds, but more than 100 songs to listen to like kind of dip your toes deeper in. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, I don't like country, so I don't like Taylor Swift, or oh, I don't like pop, so I don't like Taylor Swift. However, I feel like she's pretty mellow in both ways. I mean, yes, there are some songs that are very country, and there are some songs that are really like trendy pop. But for the most part, I mean, I think her style really transcends genre, and I think that there's a little bit of something for everybody. Today, I want to open up your world to other Taylor Swift songs that maybe you haven't heard yet. So if you're a fan of one song from Folklore, then I will give you suggestions on what to listen to. Number one, the one, and it's clever. The whole premise of the song is very nostalgic. It's very like The One That Got Away, you know, just thinking like, I'm doing all right. I was in this relationship. I'm doing better. I saw you. You seem to be doing well too. And so I have a couple of suggestions for you. If you like this song, you should listen to Begin Again from Red. It also has kind of the same like slower vibe, but it has kind of a nostalgic feel also with like a positive twist. So it's about being in an old relationship that was difficult, and it's a little bit of a different theme, but I feel like they are related. Like, bear with me. Just give it a try. See if you like it. Another suggestion I have, if you really like the one, is another song from Red called I Almost Do. So this one is a little bit more heartbreaky. You know, hold back on calling your ex. Everyone who's been through any kind of heartbreak knows how difficult that is, and the nostalgia of the one is really strong, and the nostalgia of I Almost Do. It's about like knowing exactly what that person's doing and wanting so badly to give you a call and to tell you how much they miss you, but they can't, because then they'll just fall right back into it. So give those two a try if you really like the one. Number 2 is Cardigan. This one was a little bit more challenging for me to come up with, but I did finally come up with a suggestion. Cardigan, a song that is also full of nostalgia about like feeling kind of forgotten and left behind, and then finally this person comes back and shows you how they feel and makes you feel better, makes you feel wanted and important. Ultimately, in my mind at least, kind of about a failed relationship that, you know, like it was kind of doomed from the beginning. And so the song Red, I think, would be a really good like hand in hand to listen to, because Red is about a relationship that started off really fast and was really great, but then it just like stopped, and it was hard and just difficult to leave and difficult to stay. And on that same vein, Dancing with Our Hands Tied from Reputation, I think also kind of has that same kind of theme, where it's like you had fun, everything was good, but then all of a sudden it wasn't, and it was just doomed from the beginning. So give those two a try. They're both very different vibes. Red is a little bit more poppy. Dancing with Our Hands Tied is definitely more like synth pop, like hip hoppy. So try those out. Next, The Last Great American Dynasty. This one has super like vintage vibes. Okay, so to give a rundown, this song is about Taylor Swift's Rhode Island house. It was originally owned by Rebecca Harkness and Bill Harkness. Bill Harkness was the heir to the Standard Oil name, as the song says, and he died of a heart attack. She got married into all of his money, basically, and she just went crazy. Like, she blew through all the money doing frivolous things and just like really enjoying her time, just being eccentric, I would say. And eventually she died, unfortunately, and the house sat vacant for a while, and then Taylor Swift came in and bought it, and that's it. And it's like, it's just a fun song that has those vintage vibes, that feeling of nostalgia again. It's just a fun song. I appreciate the history behind it, the research that Taylor did to get it right, and I think it's really cool. Another song, again from Red. I didn't realize how many songs from Red I was going to choose today, but here we are. Starlight from Red is pretty much the same thing. Like, not really. It's a little bit more country, but it has the same kind of feel of like, I'm at Bobby on the Boardwalk, summer of 45, and it's just about the Kennedys. Like, it's about the history of Bobby Kennedy and how they met and just lived a fun life, like just extravagant, exciting things. They snuck into a yacht club party pretending to be a duchess and a prince. Like, it's just charming and sweet, and it's great. Definitely recommend it. Number 4, Exile. So this one was really clear and really easy for me. There's a song also on Red, sorry, called The Last Time, and it's a duet with Gary Lightbody, who is the singer of Snow Patrol. He was doing a lot of collaborations at the time. Basically, The Last Time is just about a couple who are trying to make it work, but it's the last time, it's the last chance that she's gonna give him to not treat her badly, to make the relationship work, to do his part, and for her to do her part. And so Exile is pretty much the same thing, except it just goes a little farther. So it's almost like Exile is a continuation of The Last Time, because Exile is more about after the breakup and those feelings of still wanting to be together but knowing that you can't. I mean, it's more of like unrequited love. So Bon Iver, who is guest singing on it, he's singing from the position of the ex-husband or boyfriend or whatever, who just still is harboring a lot of ill feelings from the breakup. It was a hard breakup. It took her 5 whole minutes to pack up their whole lives and then leave him just stuck in the rubble and the sadness and the chaos. And, you know, she's already got someone new. He can see her with this new guy, and she's singing about how, you know, like she can see him watching them, acting as though like he's still ready to fight for her. And they have a wonderful back and forth during the bridge of, you never gave me any signs. I gave you so many signs. I never learned to read your mind. You never learned to read my mind. Like, it's just a very, like, I wanted it to work so badly, but I wasn't willing to listen to you. I wasn't willing to make the changes necessary to make it work. And I feel like Exile and The Last Time are both in that same thing. So, like, if you listen to The Last Time and then listen to Exile and pretend like the rules are the same, I don't know. It's just a nice story. A heartbreaking story. Okay, number 5, My Tears, Ricochet. Y'all, if you haven't heard this song, oh, it's so beautiful. It's slow, but it has a good beat, and it has really clever lyrics. It's a great metaphor. It's good. It's good stuff. I definitely recommend listening to it if you haven't. But if you have, and it's your favorite song on Folklore, then you've probably already listened to it, but I recommend listening to All Too Well from, again, Red. I'm sorry. All Too Well is also a very heartbreaking, emotive, clever track where she just sings about just a love that you know is over, and you know it has to be over, but it's hard to remember why, because you remember all the good times. And in My Tears, Ricochet, it's all about, like, if I'm dead to you, why are you at my wake? Like, why are you still thinking of me? Why, if you've written me off, why do I still mean so much to you? And just not being able to let go, and just thinking back. Again, nostalgia, but in a different way, like in a heartbreaking, nostalgic way. It's a good one. Number 6, Mirror Ball. I'll admit, this isn't my favorite track on Folklore, but it is a good one, and it has a clear message. To me, I feel like it's a metaphor for how she's constantly trying to perform, to be accepted, and to just be this person that she feels like she needs to be in order to be successful. I feel like that really goes into 2 songs. The Lucky One, also from Red. I swear that wasn't intentionally, guys. The Lucky One, anyway. The Lucky One, which is just about, like, fame and the hard things that come with it, and how, you know, like, they say you're the lucky one, but do you feel like the lucky one? It's kind of the same vibe and feeling. Also, The Archer from Lover, and it has a lot of those same kind of themes of not feeling good enough, and, like, you know, I cut off my nose just to spite my face and then hated my reflection. Like, I do all these things to be who I think I should be, but I'm just killing myself to do it. And it's the same kind of feeling. 7, which is the name 7, is definitely, again, nostalgic. It's a very nostalgic album. It's about 2 kids. It's just like a song that a kid wrote about their friend who is, you know, kind of having a hard time at home. And so, you know, there's things like, pack your dolls in a sweater, we'll move to India forever. Or like, I can't recall your face because it's been so long, but I still have so much love for you. Because, you know, like, when you're a kid, you connect with other people and friends on such a deep level and so fast, and you never really forget. It's like having a first love, but like a first friend. It's really, really powerful, in my opinion. It really, since it has those, like, kind of childy vibes, like really simple, innocent vibes, I went with It's Nice to Have a Friend from Lover. It's another song. It's Nice to Have a Friend has got more of like a romantic end to it. If you listen to it, it's just about like two friends who just grew up together and eventually fall in love. And it's just a sweet, simple, kind of folky song. Like, it definitely sounds like it could belong on Folklore. So if you like 7, you'll probably like It's Nice to Have a Friend. 8, August. She's so clever. I love that. I love that she put August as track 8. So August is a song about a summer love. Having this, summer fling with somebody who, is technically spoken for, but you're young and you're infatuated with this person and you feel like all you want to do is just live to see that person again. Like, it's hard to explain. I've definitely experienced these feelings, and I've had that kind of summer fling. I even had one with Jaren when we first got together, and it was so wonderful. Probably the best summer of my life, honestly. And it's such a good nostalgic song in that regard. But the sad part is, like I mentioned, it ends up, saying like you were never mine to lose, because the person that she's singing about was already in a relationship. They were already spoken for, and kind of, they still had feelings for that other person, but it's a summer fling, and when you're young, you don't really do the most responsible things. And so I think that in that way, in that like unrequited love of kind of living for the hope of it all, the song Come Back Be Here felt relevant. Come Back Be Here is definitely a lot slower, and it's again from Red. Sorry. But it's about being in a relationship where you're not really sure if it's going to work out, and you don't really get to spend a lot of time together, but it's just in that feeling of like being so insecure, just wanting things to work out, but not getting to spend enough time together, and just the heartbreak of having to say goodbye constantly. And also, I feel like Delicate from Reputation has similar vibes as well. In Delicate, the whole thing is just about a new relationship that you're insecure about, that you're not sure if it's going to work out, but you have such strong feelings and you're kind of afraid to express them, and you don't really know how much the other person feels. You want to just spill your heart out, but you're not sure if they even feel the same. And I feel like August has those similar heartbreaking, like, doomed vibes. Moving on, track 9, This Is Me Trying. This wasn't my favorite song for a while either. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. It's a song about trying your best, trying to be better, trying to apologize, trying to get through an addiction, trying to get through alcoholism, trying to get through suicidal thoughts, and just trying, at least I'm trying. It's got a very vulnerable feel to it for sure. Like, it definitely has the synthesizer, like, audio quality to it. And so I know that I mentioned this before, but The Archer I think would actually be a really good one for this one too. They're almost the same song in my opinion, so if you really like This Is Me Trying, I would listen to The Archer. It has the same like audio sound to it, vulnerability of just being honest, like brutally honest with yourself, and just showing all of those insecurities in a song. So if you like This Is Me Trying, listen to The Archer from Lover. Number 10, Illicit Affairs. This is one of my favorite songs on this album. It is so beautiful. The little delicateness of the like harp. I'm pretty sure it's a harp. I don't know. I never looked it up, but it sounds like a harp to me. The lyrics, the heartbreaking. Oh, it's so good. So basically it is from the perspective of the other woman. So, illicit affairs, literally translating to illicit affairs. The feelings of, like it started out so beautiful, but then suddenly like what started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings and parking lots. You were showered with all this love and it was exciting, and you fell in love with this person who, was already in another relationship. They made you feel things that you've never felt before. They've like taught you a secret language you can't speak with anyone else. Just her soft vocals on it, and it's, oh, like the way that she sings it sounds like she could be crying the whole time. It's such a beautiful song. So if you're like me and this is one of your favorites, I recommend listening to Last Kiss from Speak Now. It's one of her early albums. It's her third studio album, and it's exquisite. It was my favorite song for the longest time. It's still like in my top 5 of best Taylor Swift songs. It's so heartbreaking. It also has it has lots of specific examples in the lyrics, just like Illicit Affairs. It's like, if you like Illicit Affairs, if you like to feel sad and cry and put yourself in that position, then you will love Last Kiss. I'll just put it that way. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but it's really good. It's so sad and heartbreaking. Track 11, Invisible String. This is a fan favorite, I'm pretty sure. It's a good one. It's nice and like peppy, and it's sweet, and I'm personally a fan of songs that are about her life, so Invisible String is also one of my favorites. And if you don't know, it's mostly about her relationship with Joe Alwyn, her boyfriend of almost 4 years, I think. So it just kind of goes through like how their whole lives kind of just led them to each other, and that they were always kind of connected. And basically it's just about how they were fated to be together. There was invisible string that tied them. When he first came to LA, her song was playing on the radio. He ate at her favorite spot for dinner. When she was young, she used to read at Centennial Park in Tennessee. Later on, she was able to show him around Centennial Park where she thought she'd meet somebody. And then it was kind of a full circle, and like just the whole thing about it, it's just really sweet. It's just how everything worked out for her. And there are a lot of songs about him, especially on Lover, because most of the songs are about him on Lover. But the one that really sticks out to me is Paper Rings. Paper Rings is a lot more upbeat, for sure. It has more of like a poppy vibe, but it's really sweet still. Like, it still has a really nice feeling and a nice like theme behind it of, I love you so much, like, you know, I like nice things, I like shiny things, but I'd marry you with paper rings. I think it's sweet. So if you like Invisible String, I think you'd like Paper Rings. Track 12, Mad Woman. So Mad Woman has a very Reputation sound. So if you like Mad Woman, honestly, you could probably just listen to all of Reputation. But if you haven't and you want to just kind of start out slowly, with Mad Woman being like a scathing song about people who've done her wrong and really good one-liners, I think that I Did Something Bad from Reputation would be a really good starting point. I Did Something Bad is also just kind of about like, it's kind of satirical about how like the media says that she does all these horrible things, and she's like, well, whatever, why does it feel so good then? It's got that really like sarcastic feel, and it's good. It's good. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. Like, I feel like they're both pretty self-explanatory. If you like Mad Woman a lot, then I would listen to I Did Something Bad, and then I would listen to all of Reputation. I Did Something Bad is from Reputation, by the way. Track 13, Epiphany. Epiphany is allegedly about her grandfather who fought in the Second World War, I believe. Or at least the first part is, you know, and it's really, a lot of it is just about like PTSD, I think, of just going through these really hard times and seeing death and destruction and just horrible things and not really knowing how to like get through them, how to sleep at night, really. And so with the first half being about losing your innocence from fighting in the war, that really reminded me of the song Innocent from Speak Now. It's also kind of about that, like, you know, innocence that you still have, and how PTSD really affects how you feel about yourself. And it's just like, it's a good song. And then the second half is very relevant to today with like Hold Your Hand Through Plastic Now. Doc, I think she's crashing out. Like, I feel like it's very similar to, you know, the whole pandemic and the struggles that a lot of people are going through. So that part really reminded me of Soon You'll Get Better from Lover. Soon You'll Get Better is a song that Taylor wrote about her mother and her fight with cancer, just about like holding on to that hope that things will be better, and just it's a different kind of heartbreak, and I think that they both really embody that really well. So if you like Epiphany, I recommend listening to Innocent from Speak Now and Soon You'll Get Better from Lover. Track 14, Betty. Betty is country as country is. If you didn't like Taylor, but now you like her because of Betty, like, I have news for you. You have a lot to listen to that you will probably like. If you like Betty, pretty much you can listen to everything up until Red and you'll probably like it. But if you're not sure where to start, I think that the song Back to December is also very similar. In Betty, it's about a 17-year-old who wronged the person that wronged Betty, the girl he loves, or likes at least, and, you know, mustering up the courage to go and apologize to her. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just about, like, apologizing and learning how to properly apologize. And Back to December from Speak Now is a really good similar track. It has that country vibe as well, but it also is about apologizing for ending things really badly and just saying, like, if we ever gave this another chance, like, I wouldn't do you dirty like that again. I think that they both have a similar sound and a similar theme, so definitely try that one out. Track 15, Peace. Peace is one of my favorites. It's very polarizing. It's not super catchy. It's more of like a poem than a song, but I really like it. It's very, I would say, mature. You know, like the very first line is, our coming of age has come and gone. They were children and now they're adults, and they're navigating through lives together in this new mature kind of relationship. It's basically just saying, like, is it okay that my life is always going to be chaotic and that your life is always going to be chaotic when you're with me? I think that the song Afterglow from Lover has a similar, like, mature kind of feelings. It's a little different, but it is still about apologizing. It's just saying, like, hey, I'm sorry. It was all me. I just got in my head. Let's try to get through this and meet me on the other side. I feel like that's a really mature way to think about a relationship versus just being like... So anyway, if you like Peace, then Afterglow is a good option. I feel like You Are in Love from 1989 is a good option as well. It's still very slow in the same kind of way, but it goes through like a poetic type of story. So track 16, Hoax. This one was really difficult for me to find one. Hoax has a lot of Reputation vibes as well, but it's kind of in a different way. So Hoax is about being in love, or at least believing in a love that does not believe in you back. And it's just like a lot of screaming from cliff sides, not understanding what's going on, but not being willing to let it go. It's a slow, scathing song, and I feel like it had a lot of Dear John vibe. It's similar in the way that it's just another really scathing song. It's like slow, heartbreaking, and just, how dare you do this to me. If you really like Hoax, definitely give Dear John a try. Okay, and last we have the hidden track, or bonus track I should say, The Lakes. This is my current favorite song ever by her. It's just so pretty. It's very poetic, it has the dreamy violins, and just, it's very atmospheric. When you listen to it, like, at least for me, I visualize so many things, like the wisteria and the red rose and lakes and mountains, and it's just beautiful, like, eloping song. It's really, really a treasure to listen to. And so if that's what you really like, I'm not sure if she's had anything that's really similar to this so far. I feel like The Lakes is a really unique song on Taylor's discography, so it was really difficult for me to come up with a suggestion, but I did still come up with 2 suggestions. The first one, I feel like Wildest Dreams has a similar, like, atmospheric vibe. The production of it is really nice, and the music in it really has strong vibe of the nostalgia and the feeling of just wanting to kind of get away from what's going on and So, I mean, everyone and their mom has heard the song Wildest Dreams, but I still recommend it if you haven't listened to it and you really like the lakes. The other suggestion is Call It What You Want from Lover. So this one is just like, in the way that the lakes is just like, let's get away from the world, let's just get together, the two of us, and go and experience life on our own, like, because we don't belong. I feel like Call It What You Want has a similar feeling of whatever people are saying about us, it doesn't matter. I've got you to walk to, and I know that you're always going to be there for me, and it's us against the world. It's just a really fun song, and that one's from Reputation. Highly recommend that. And we're done. That was a lot of tracks to go through. I hope that if you're a new Taylor Swift fan and you really liked Folklore and you're not sure if you'll like the rest of her music, or you're not sure where to start, that this will be a good starting spot for you to go through and see which songs you really like and listen to similar songs to kind of dip your toe into the sea that is Taylor Swift. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Please keep an eye out for future videos. I will be posting a lot more often than I have been. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye guys.